Okay, so this one is one of my favorites. And so the mistake here, not knowing who your customer is, the way that shows up is that the entrepreneur, when they start their business, sell a product or two or their service, they get really excited and they want to share it with the world. And when we get to the solution, I'm not going there yet, this is how much of the world you need. And they're trying to sell it to everyone in the world. And so they're taking this buckshot approach to the world and how they market and sell and attract people to them. And if you think about focus and energy and resources and dollars, you only have so much. And if you're a startup, you might have $5, you might have $50, 500, 5,000, 50,000, I don't know. And someday you may have a $5 million budget. It's all the same. Is you've got to take your human resources, your financial resources, your marketing sales resources, and focus them in a direction. So you've got to know who your ideal customer is. And so again, the mistake is this buckshot approach, telling everyone in the world about your product, hoping to sell it to them. And so the analogy I like to use is it's like trying to sell gasoline to somebody with an electric vehicle. It's never going to happen. So why would you spend 1 ounce of resource trying to convince that person to buy gasoline from you? So there's a story I like to tell that makes the point. Okay. And so bear with me on this story, but the story is that of in the olden days, in the old country, a mother, her son, and their donkey are making a trek through the old country, going through village upon village upon village. And as they got to the first village, the son was riding the donkey, the mother was walking, and as they entered the village, something pissed off the people in the village. And they started shouting and throwing stones and yelling and swearing. It's the most horrific thing you could imagine. But somehow this mother, her son, and this donkey survive this and get through the village and make it through. Oh, and they're relieved. But as they come upon the next village, the mother's thinking, maybe in this country, it's just appropriate that my son, a man, is riding a donkey. So we'll switch and I'll ride the donkey and my son can walk. And this maybe will please the people in the village, in this next village. And so as they came upon the next village and entered the village, same story, yelling, shouting, stoning, swearing, horrible, but they survived that. And so they get through the village. And now the mother is absolutely dumbfounded. And she thinks, maybe it's the donkey. I mean, maybe they worship donkeys in this country. And as they came upon the next village, she thought, you know what we'll do is we'll carry the donkey through the village, and this will please the people in the village. And as they came upon the village, there's this rickety old rope bridge over a river. And so as they carried the donkey and got onto the bridge was really wobbly, and the donkey falls off over the bridge into the river, drowns, and dies. And so what's the moral of the story? The moral of the story is if you try and please everyone, you're going to lose your ass. Okay. And so the point is, obviously, don't try to be all things to all people. Don't try to sell everything to everybody. Figure out who your ideal customer is. Know them better than they know themselves. And the way that you do that is just getting really clear on the demographic, geographic, and psychographic of your ideal customer. Who are they? Where are they? What are they? So how do you go about determining demographic, geographic, psychographic? I want to be careful not to get too caught up in details, because if contextually you'll just focus on the demo, geo, psycho. Who are they? Where are they? What are they? That's all you need to know. And you just need to spend time. Demographic is just deciding exactly who is this person you're going after in the world. And I'm going to use EOS as the example, okay? And so in building EOS worldwide, as we eventually reached 130,000 companies, we knew the perfect demographic. And our perfect demographic was and is a 10 to 250 privately held company. That's our sweet spot. That's the demographic. Geographic, for an EOS implementer, as I am, is the geography that you want to do business in. And so for me, it was always Southeast Michigan. That was my geography. Some implementers love to travel, and so it might be the entire country. So you just have to decide how far is your reach. And so for you out there, you might decide whatever product or service you're selling the world, You just want to dominate your city. That's okay. You want to dominate your county. You want to dominate your state. You want to dominate whatever it is. And it can be the world. But what is the geography? Because again, we're trying to get you to manage and focus resources. But the most important of the three is that psychographic. Is that what they are? And so again, using the EOS example, the ideal client there is entrepreneurial, open-minded, willing to be vulnerable, open and honest, is appreciative and respectful. And so when we find that 10 to 250 person privately held company, if we work with the leadership team of that company in our market, and when we find that psychographic, oh, it's a match made in heaven. And any piece of that psychographic that's missing, it's just less fun, it's less impactful, it's less potent. And so hopefully that gives you a little more insight into exactly how to do that. But be careful, keep it really high level in terms of those big three: demo, geo, psycho. Don't get too caught up in the details. And to the degree you can get really clear on that, then you can focus all of those marketing resources and people and dollars on those people, because that's all you need. And that will increase your close ratios, your hit ratios, your revenue. And so that's how you ultimately solve the issue of not knowing who your customer is.